have lots and lots of fun in store for you.
Yes,
don't we?
We do.
Games and obviously more games and a story. And hopefully we'll hear a good thought of the story, perhaps.
Okay.
And what are you doing?
Well, we're talking. I thought I'd make a beard, okay? Because we're talking about.
Show them. Go forward. Look at that. Look.
Beard.
Oh, wow.
Because we're talking about a very, very hairy man.
Oh yeah.
So,
There's a hairy man and a guy that plays tricks on people, and that's our story today. So enjoy. Are you ready for a bit of dancing?
Oh yeah, why not?
Well, I was thinking, it's good to warm ourselves up a little bit. Maybe we could play musical statues.
Love that game.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, the music will play, we and you will dance.
Well, what, sorry?
Dance.
Right.
And then when the music stops, you stop. And see how quickly you can stop when the music stops.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
got it.
See which one of us can stop quickest.
Oof, me.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready? Are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Let's go! Oh, nice one! Go again! I don't know what these dance moves are, but go again! You're a bit slower, that's.
I was a bit slower.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, last 3. Let's do 3 more.
3. Okay.
3 more,
Yeah.
because I want to see more of you dancing.
Great.
Let's go! Oh, nice one! Go again! A bit swimming.
I'm really not good at this game.
Okay, last one. Let's see if you can get the last one.
Yeah.
Last one. Go!
Yeah, got far too into it. I'm not standing like that. Yeah.
You're just gonna carry on, aren't you?
Yeah, loving life.
Well, we had a good dance,
We did.
and some of us were able to freeze quicker than others, but that's okay because we had some fun.
Yes.
So hopefully you got on all right and had a bit of fun, bit of a boogie, and warmed yourself up.
Hey Emily,
Yes, Tabz?
do you know what time it is?
No.
No,
No.
I know what time it is.
What time is it?
It is story time.
Yes, it is.
That's the time. I'm really excited. This is a great story, this one.
Yes.
It's a little bit weird, but it's entertaining at least. Shall we? It's from Bob Hartman's Rhyming Bible. Who'd have thought it?
Of course.
There we go. Shall we begin? Harry and Trixie. Rebecca and Isaac's twin baby boys were born a few minutes apart. They didn't have much in common though. They were different right from the start.
When Esau came out, he had red, bushy hair, and sweet baby Jacob had none. But he had his hand on his brother's heel, a sign of the problems to come.
Isaac loved Esau, his big hairy son, who brought him the best fresh meat. But Jacob stayed home and learned tricks from his mum and turned into quite a good cheat.
So one day, when Esau came home from a hunt, he found Jacob cooking a meal. "I'm starving," he said. "Give me some of that now." Said Jacob, "I'll do you a deal.
Our father's inheritance passes to you, for you are his firstborn child. Trade me that birthright for this bowl of stew, and then you can eat it, Jacob smiled.
So Esau agreed, and that bad deed was done. And Jacob did happy flips. Just one thing remained to seal the whole deal, a blessing from Isaac's own lips.
As Isaac grew older, his eyesight grew weak. Dear Esau, he said with a sigh, catch me some game, make my favourite meal, and I'll bless you before I die.
So Rebekah gave Isaac's instructions to Jacob. And here is my plan, she said. Fetch me 2 goats and we'll cook up that meal, and you'll get that blessing instead.
My arms are not hairy. Father will guess. The trick will not work, Jacob cried. We'll cover your arms with the skin of the goat, tricksy Rebekah replied.
So into old Isaac's tent Jacob went, goat on the plate and his arms. Here's food for you, father, Jacob announced, but Isaac was slightly alarmed.
The food's come so quickly, Esau, my boy. Your hunt was a great success. But strangely, your voice sounds just like your brother's. I'd swear it was him at a guess.
Now give me your hand so that I can be sure. And the fake arm hair worked a treat. He thought it was Esau and spoke out a blessing, which Jacob quite gladly received.
When Esau appeared with a meal sometime later, Isaac felt bad for his son. I've already given your brother my blessing. There's nothing that can be done.
So Esau then vowed to murder his brother, and Jacob ran far from home, blessed by his father, heir to his name, but forced for a while to roam.
Wow. That's a dramatic story.
It is. So I'm looking forward to the thoughts that Hettie's going to bring.
Yes, about those hairy arms.
Okay, so I am here obviously with Hettie and Tabz.
Obviously.
And we are going to be playing a game of Would You Rather.
Ooh, that was less obvious.
So I'm going to give you 2 options, okay? And you have to tell me which one you would rather.
Okay.
Okay.
Shock
I could do
horror.
that.
That's what it is.
Decisions.
Okay, decisions indeed.
Right.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Would you rather lick a bin or the bathroom floor?
Ooh.
Oh, I thought there might be nice things that might.
Like, would you rather
Oh.
have a Victoria sponge cake or a chocolate fudge cake?
Yeah, I thought it would be nice things like
Oh.
Nope, going
Lick a bin or a bathroom
straight-
floor?
Yeah,
Lick
lick a bin
bathroom
or a bathroom
floor.
that. I'll
Bathroom
lick a
floor?
bin.
You'll lick a bin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, you might feed on the floor.
Okay, next one is, would you rather have an extra finger or an extra toe?
Ooh. Ooh.
An extra toe.
Extra finger, because that would be
Ooh,
would be
different.
more helpful when you like typing or playing the
yeah.
piano or the guitar or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Extra finger.
Okay, would you rather be able to fly or be invisible?
I'd like to be invisible because then I could be nosy on people's conversations.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'd
mean,
like to fly
no,
because I'm less dishonest.
Well, I'm scared of heights, so flying's not helpful.
Okay, would you rather have one eye in the middle of your head or 2 noses?
That's weird.
I'd rather have 2 noses.
Okay.
Because if I get a blocked nose, then hopefully the other one's still free.
Well, that's a good idea.
That's good.
Yeah,
I like
that's good.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd do that too. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Would you rather be the funniest person alive or the smartest person alive?
Well,
Well, I'm already one of them.
I'm already both of them.
Oh!
I'd rather be the funniest.
Jokes. Like,
Because then I could make people laugh and then they'd be really happy and ha 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 ha.
yeah, I'd rather do that. Yeah.
Okay, and the last one. Okay.
Okay.
Would you rather have a magic carpet that flies or your own personal robot? Ooh.
My own personal robot. Because I
Okay.
could get really nerdy and I like program it to do things, and maybe I could program it to like make videos for like.
Oh, that's
collectors'
clever.
worship
I was
and
thinking
stuff.
make me tea, but fair enough. Good idea.
What about you, Hettie?
Yeah, robot.
Really?
Make me tea.
I would well and truly go magic carpet.
Would you?
Yeah, that would be so cool.
Well, our robots
Wow.
could make you tea
Yeah.
and make videos of you whilst you're flying around on your magic carpet.
Sorted. Done.
Okay.
Picnic on
We're
the
good.
flying carpet.
We're good at choices.
Wow.
Good choices there. Good choices.
What is your favourite sport? My favourite sport is football. And in football, we know who wins the game by who has scored the most goals. Now, what would happen if instead of counting the goals we scored, we counted the times that we missed the net? I don't think that would be much fun. Okay, I hear you saying, Hettie, what has this got to do with the strange story that we heard? Well, bear with me. So, today's story might have seemed a little bit weird. It wasn't a very positive story. In our story, Jacob made some not great choices. And then his brother also made some choices that weren't very good. And his mum made some choices that were pretty poor. And then the story ends. However, we can look at this story on its own, or we can do something better. We can take this story and we can look at the other stories around it. Because you see, if you read the Bible and you read perhaps one verse, one little tiny sentence, you might think it means one thing, but then when you put it with the rest of the sentences in that chapter, and then when you look at the whole of that book, and then you look at whether it's in the New Testament or the Old Testament, and then you look at the whole Bible, you might understand it a bit differently. So when we see this story in connection to the rest of the Bible, we see that actually what happens to Jacob is God gives him the opportunity to turn things around, to change. And actually, God ends up changing his name to Israel. Like he was this trickster dude, that God changes his name, changes what he's all about, and says, you are going to lead this like massive nation, this big group of people, which was also called Israel. Like he didn't just remember who he was when he was a trickster. He looked at who he could become. So, does the image of people making poor choices and God helping them to turn things around and get on the right track, does that remind you of any other parts of the Bible? It does for me. Because you see, people kept messing up and kept doing things that weren't great and kept making poor choices. And what God does, what God did in the Bible, and we can read, is that he sent his son Jesus. He sent Jesus as a baby to this earth, and he became one of us, one of the people. And he grew up and he performed miracles and he told people about who God is and all the amazing things that he has done and will do. And we see in this story that God sends his son Jesus to die on the cross for all those bad choices that the people had made and all those poor choices that we make today. Because we can be forgiven. And that's what happened when Jesus died on the cross. He showed that we could be forgiven, and he took all our sins, which is the not good things that we all do, and it meant that he took that for us so that we could have a relationship with God, so that we could be forgiven and turn our lives around. But Jesus didn't stay dead. He actually rose from the grave and defeated death. Don't forget that bit. So in God, we can turn ourselves around. We can make good choices even when we've made some poor choices in the past. You see, God gives us a second chance, and then another second chance, and then another second chance. He never gives us a third chance or a fourth chance or a fifth chance, because once we say sorry to God, he chooses not to keep a record of the mistakes that we've made, and he just lets us try again. And there's this famous bit in the Bible that we hear a lot at weddings, but actually it's not about that type of love that we tend to talk about at weddings. It's about God, because God is love. So listen to this. 1 Corinthians 13 verses 4 to 8. You might have heard this before. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It's not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects. It always trusts. It always hopes. Always perseveres. Love never fails. And when we think about the fact that God is love, actually the verse reads, God is patient, and God is kind, and God keeps no record of wrongs. How awesome is that? It's like in a football match where we don't count how many times we miss the goal. God doesn't do that either. He doesn't count the mistakes we made. He keeps no record of wrongs. Love keeps no record of wrongs. And this also reminds me of the Lord's Prayer, which you might have heard before. It's a prayer that Jesus says in the Bible. And in the prayer, it says, forgive us our sins, the poor choices and mistakes that we make, as we forgive those who sin against us. So God forgives us and doesn't keep a record of our wrongs, as it said in the Bible passage that we just read, but in the Lord's Prayer, it says, forgive us as we forgive others. And that's really important. Forgive us as we forgive others. So by reading these two bits in the Bible, we can understand that we can ask for God's forgiveness and he will forgive us. He will not remember our mistakes we've made and he'll help us to get back on track. But that we should also not keep a record of the mistakes that other people make and forgive them as well. Now, it's important that we remember that when people hurt us and make us unhappy, we still need to tell a trusted grown-up. We need to not forget that in all of this. So I'd like to give you a few moments to chat to God, to tell him if you want to be forgiven of something or if there's somebody that you need to forgive. And then together we'll say the Lord's Prayer. And when we talk about forgiveness, if you want to join in with this prayer and say to God, I want to be forgiven, or I want you to help me to forgive others, whether it's now or in the future, you can put your hand on your heart with me to show him that you want to do that. So I'm going to give you a moment to talk to God yourself. And you can join in with the Lord's Prayer if you'd like to. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our sins, as we forgive those who sin against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For yours is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Well, Hettie, I would like to say a big thank you on what you have taught us today in your thoughts. And I think it's really important that we think about our decisions.
Yeah.
And making good choices.
Make good choices.
Make good choices. But also actually how we need to ask for forgiveness from God. And particularly looking at the Lord's Prayer. So thank you
You're welcome.
very much for that. So we've had a great time with you and we will see you very, very soon.
Yeah, we will.
Bye!